I'd like to hand over to Moloko Matlala to coordinate this session on recommendations and conference resolutions. And this will run till 2:30, and then we'll move over to the next session. Moloko, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Program Director Pathy Chetty. We had a quite long, engaging, and encouraging, sessions the past 3 days. Yeah, of course, personally, I have been empowered, and I'm sure all of us have been empowered. We have been lifelong learners throughout, and I just learned, in some literature that lifelong learning is one of those soft skills. I never thought it is regarded as a soft skill, but I happen to know. And thank you very much to you, Pathy Chetty, and the session chairs and our scribes, Tandeka Mthanga, Chris McCartney, Tsepo Mujake, Patrick Rasehwete, Armstrong Masakeni, and Leiden Manas. We want to thank you very much for the wonderful job that you have done. I think you have made my life and Bess and Lesh much easier in terms of the way you have captured your notes and the way you have presented. Congratulations to the way you have done it. And thanks to the previous, just our recent speaker, Ebru Hoffman, we thank you very much for availing your time to come and give us that keynote address. And we have learned a lot, starting from our keynote speaker, Professor Fenifezi, and our minister, and so on. And we are hoping and of the opinion that as you were engaging, you seriously looked at issues of transformation and inclusivity. In my notes, I saw them, a lot of them, coming up. And we have listened, and we will continue to listen to you. And now is the time to come up with clear resolutions and recommendations. What I have picked up throughout, it has been partnerships, collaborations throughout. If you have listened for the past 3 days in any breakaway and plenary, partnerships, collaborations was never lost. So I hope the technical team will have given me the freedom to be able to share 2 or 3 slides. I'm not gonna take you long, but just to take you through some couple things that I managed to pick up in these discussions. If I could just go back to, I'm sure I am on the wrong, I'm now jumped on the wrong one. Sorry about that. Okay, I just want to put it on a slide. Sorry, something is happening here. Are you able to see my slide?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can see it.
All right.
It's quite legible.
Okay, I think it's better now. Okay, these are some of the key issues that emerged. Like I said, issues of partnerships across all levels. There was a strong emphasis on the grassroots level partnerships, especially at school level, local and district level. Of course, these partnerships are beyond that. We look at collaborations on NGOs, private industry, DBE, science centers, and professional bodies. So it is broad. And there was a strong emphasis on strengthening the collaboration with DBE. And there was also mentioned in 2 of the groups that a proposal which came exactly the same, that we need to have a circular coming out of DBE to provincial education departments so that the activities around Olympiads and competitions can be integrated into the schooling calendar. And there was also a strong emphasis on the visibility, advocacy, sharing of information in all the levels, especially at grassroots level. That means at school, district level, and somewhere even in mentioning that we need to include the local municipalities around those areas of schools. And these came out very strongly. These 4 bullets came right through across all the 3 groups that we had. No learner should be left behind. This is talking more about the issue of inclusivity. And specifically not focusing on learners who are performing high, because there's a tendency of schools or senior management at schools to rather recommend that only learners who perform better should participate in the Olympiads, and the voice says no. And then there was also an issue about ensuring that we use a local language, or we can try to translate some of these Olympiads and competitions to the local languages. And there was also mention of a brail and also issues of using of sign language to be more inclusive. And this also came out very strong, that emphasis should start at an early stage. There was proposals from either grade 3, some were saying from grade 4, that's where we need to start engaging. Contributions of Olympiads and competitions. This, I was so intrigued when I started realizing this coming up, and how much impact just confidence can bring to the learners and teachers as people were engaging. What impact once a learner or a teacher gains confidence just by participating in Olympiads and contribution. Contribution of Olympiads and competition to soft skills, and there were specific soft skills that were mentioned: communication skills, investigation or research skills, confidence, and social skills. Contribution of Olympiad and competitions to exposure, for exposure into different career options. Remember, I'm just summarizing, but there were discussions around these things to say what type, how it widens the career options. Because as you are doing math and science as a learner, you just know that there's engineering, there's I can become a doctor, or I can become a dentist, and your knowledge is very limited. But as you engage in this Olympiad, it gets broadened. Development of skills for educators and implementers of Olympiad, especially the digital skills, as it was mentioned in one of the groups. But there was also this element of SACE accreditation, so that teachers can feel proud when they attend these development workshops. Reaching more girl learner and using female in STEM as role models also came up. The role of science centers, especially at local levels, it seems like we are not utilizing our science centers effectively. So we need to come up with a strategy how these science centers can be used effectively. We are not using our media effectively. That came out also in one of the groups. I think it was group 3. Now, these are some of the challenges that we raised, which we need to look at as we formulate our recommendations and way forward. The buy-in of senior management staff. I think this is a problem of the spelling there. And teachers at school. This is a problem because teachers see this as an additional load to them. And even the management of the school might also see it as an additional load. So how do we deal with, how do we motivate that they can see value? The reason why they see it as an additional load is because they don't see value in terms of what they are doing. Time for learners and teachers also came up as a challenge, that learners can't find time, teachers can't find time, but some of us can argue very strongly that learners have got plenty of time, because come 3:30, they are gone, and some of them get engaged with unofficial activities or unrequired activities by the communities for that matter. Participation fee came as one of the challenges, to say learners are poor, they don't have participation fee. Lack of resources, the digital skills that I mentioned, the issue of sustainability. How can we make schools to own these initiatives? Now, in my closing, I just want to talk about a little bit of these soft skills, because I believe they are also very important. there were this mention of these three soft skills, four soft skills: communication, investigation, research skills, confidence, and social. Now, I want to challenge ourselves to say, if you look at most of these soft skills for the future of work, are the Olympiads and competitions not contributing to this? So as I list them all, you need to ask yourself, are we contributing or not contributing? Resilience, self-management, adaptability, diverse cultural intelligence, emotional intelligence, perseverance, curiosity, responsiveness, negotiation skills, complex problem-solving skills, analytical thinking skills, teamwork. And when I look at this, all these skills, the Olympiads and competitions are best situated to develop this. Or let me not say Olympiads and competitions, let me rather say extracurricular activities. Some, if not most of these skills are not easily achievable in a normal day-to-day running in a classroom situation. With that, I would like to thank you. And I want to ask if my colleague Bess and Lesh would like to add one or two things before we engage into trying to sharpen. Some of the recommendations and resolutions seems to be coming through, but I think there might be three, if we can have here 3 or 4 clear resolutions to say these are the top priority and we can't afford not to work on them. When we engage in the next conference, we need some form of a result to say, how did it go between now and the next conference? Bessen, if you have got anything to add, I think from my side, I will stop there. Thank you, Chairperson.